Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Oh, I this is kind of a surprise, not a surprise episode, but one where I didn't think I was gonna do it anytime soon. I kept wondering when was I going to do. What kind of it's not going to be the full story time, but it's basically me ranting again because I'm upset. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. I'm livid because in Georgia today, there was another school shooting, and I'm tired of it. And I put a link to the footage from the news station in my video. But when the gentleman said if anyone was eliminated, that my thoughts and prayers. I am I'm a Christian woman, but I'm tired of thoughts and prayers. We need to take those thoughts into a board meeting, a council meeting, to the Republicans especially, because I know Democrats have been trying, but then they get outvoted, and that's a mess. But we need to take this to the top, have a meeting about it, and I'm not going to act like I'm a professional with what to do, but why can't we have either metal detectors or even a school supply list that will make sure there is no, but then binders, I don't know if the metal in those rings will go off, but just something just something that will help provide safety for these children. And I just remember sometimes when I teach my the college students, it's there were a few school shootings over those years, and whenever it happens, I sit my students down, which I'm going to be getting ready for to I never know when my students sometimes they don't want to talk about it. Oh no, my phone's yeah, sorry. Anyway, but I I never know when my students want to talk about it, if they're nervous to talk about it, if they just don't because there's some students. I had one student, and a lot of times when I say I have one student, it's the same student. It's like when I said I had a, well, and the bad part is part of the class was absolutely amazing. And then the other part, they just acted like they were supposed to get an A because I saw their faces. And I was about to be real petty about their faces, but I won't be. Because, I'm not perfect. People say I'm ugly every day. So I'm like, whatever. But because to me, I'm just well, back to I just remember when the school shooting happened, I sat the students down and I asked them, it's like, does anyone want to talk about it? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? And or does anybody even know either the location, the school, or of anybody? And this one student was like, how the f are we supposed to know event? I was like, well, people have family, and with a lot of people, not all of their family live in the same state. So I know, I have had school shootings where a student had a second or third cousin that went to that school, and or another time where someone's uncle taught at one of the schools. And so I never know, but I've had students after class, especially the young men, they thank me for at least opening it up, but they were too nervous or scared to talk about their feelings. And I think that's another reason I teach the class the way I teach it, because I want students to open up. And I feel like some students are so used to just looking at their cell phone, reading what everyone else has to say, that at the end of the day, they are scared to open up. And well, I put the link on this part and everything, so click on it if you need to know more information. And they interview people that uh, either their family member or a neighbor or something like that went to the school. Update though, because in the title it has two people passed away, but the count went up to four, sadly. And it's just, I just don't know what to say. And I just hope this school, because now it's like, I just wonder with the mental health, because people say mental health, but also I'm like, okay, I want to kind of get away from that, because when with the Rifle Association and stuff, it's like when people were trying to make laws for like either paperwork or therapy or things like that for people to get these weapons, they refused. But then whenever it happens, they say they admit it's mental health, but they don't want to change the laws so that they would have to work to get weapons that can literally take people's lives. Literally take people's lives. You're not willing to risk just a little bit more work. And sometimes I wonder, are you scared because you know your mental health isn't all there? Or you know you have a temper, or your anger management is absolutely horrid? Or maybe your alcoholism, you know, you might dot dot dot. I wonder about these things because like literally in some states you don't need a license, like you don't need to go through some of the loops and everything. And this is a weapon that can take your life. And I know certain Republicans, I believe it was Lauren Boebert or Marjorie Taylor Greene, they were talking about, oh, next thing you know, they're going to take away our knives. Okay, well, you don't need a license to be able to cut your carrots and just cut things. And I believe it's like I'm gonna have to find this one story because it happened just this summer where there was a woman who went to a thrift store and stole a knife. Then she walked over to the grocery store right next door, and then she walked around with it. Then she walked into the parking lot and she stabbed a young boy and his mother, and the little boy passed. I think he was like 3 or 4. So yes, knives can take lives away, but you have to get up close. And usually that's more intimate, like either you know that person or like you have to be up close. But guns, no. Guns, no. And so it's just, I don't know. It's surprising. And okay, but because I kind of have an example, I'll tell the whole story a different time and day, because I like with my students, I didn't tell the group with this one specific student because it's like almost every story or example I've told, he literally twisted it. And I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to do a whole like series because I am more focused on my business now, because I've realized student like they're okay, not all. And okay, if it hurts with like, so in a lot of my videos sometimes I say things but I don't mean all. If it burns or hurts or even twinkles a little, I'm probably talking about you, but if not, I'm not talking about you. But I just remember that day when I talked to this class about the school situation that happened that day. He could not care less, and he was just like, "Okay, let's just get on with the information you're going over." And then he didn't do any of the work. He was texting on his phone the entire time. And even doing this motion with his finger around his ear, like when you twist your finger around your ear, like, oh, la da da, whatever, or crazy. Like, and part of me is just like, just the disrespect. But then it's like being so disrespectful, especially like I'm not coming towards my students with this information just because I'm trying to be motherly, or I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, like, why do some students like I don't like just hate to open up, hate to leave their guard down, hate to be honest about how they feel or who they are. And just like with situations like what happened today, we need to sit down and talk about it. And we need more therapists in schools to talk to the students and believe the students. Because I'm going to talk about my my therapy time, because I went to see someone in middle school before I wasn't diagnosed, and there was a situation that happened with me not picking up my feet at home, and I went to talk to her. She didn't believe me. And so I don't know, it's just I believe in school, like counselors and things like that. Or yeah, counselors, not therapists, sorry. But yeah, we probably need some therapists in there. But because I know some have resource cops, and I wonder, did the school have a resource cop? Because yeah, now since they weren't able to help out with the mental health, where they at least have a resource officer that helped with the like, because just yeah, knowing four people passed away, I kind of wonder. But I know each time I ask my students how I feel, it's always different. So if you have a kid who just started school, sit with them, talk to them. And even with their phones, if there's a way where even if they only have a couple seconds, create a code word. Like if something's happening at the school and they have to react fast, and it can be not even just at school, if they go to the mall or and someone's following them or anything, it's like create, like, 'cause I know from dating Tomas, if you've been watching or listening to my videos, he showed me this video about a code word or password called pineapple. So, I mean, yeah, probably don't do pineapple, but I mean, now I'm hungry because now I'm thinking about cupcakes. I've been thinking about making a smoothie all day. Yes, a tangent, but okay, it's like my code words would probably be food related, but it could be anything. It can even be your child's favorite color. It's like you can do it as a family or for each child, because it's like some moms or dads, usually some, okay, so dads, be a part of this too, because normally I know it's the moms, but dads, do your thing too. It's like, so if each child has their own word, so it's like you're at work, you have to go fast, you're at a meeting, you just have a second to look at it. It's like if you see brownies, you're like, oh, okay, that's Christopher. Or if it's apple pie, oh, Christina, okay, what's going on? And it's like, so then you know exactly which child, because, yeah, see, I told you I'm hungry. But it's a way where you can at least know, like, okay, something's happening. Let me like put this down. I gotta go, or like ask if we can have a break from the meeting or work or whatever. So, but okay, because I have a little example. I know when I was working in the inner city, I was at a school, and there was this custodian. He's like, he seemed really cool. And sometimes I'm wondering, sometimes I just wonder like what happened. And also, like, I wish I could see like the work parameters or the work requirements, because till this day, it's like I think I know of at least four different custodians that got fired from the school. But whenever I saw them, they were either cleaning or, I mean, they were organizing or whatever. And even with my classroom, like sometimes I would like move desks and stuff so it could be easier for them. And I still remember two or three of their birthdays. But anyway, with one of the custodians, it's like I will admit, like he kept missing work and not telling anybody. And it's like it's none of my business, but it's like I kind of want, I hope everything's okay with him. But um let's just say one day the principal fired him, but she forgot to get everything from him. And he came back not with a a gun, but I think it was like an axe or something. It was kind of an odd choice. But like when I said intimate, it's like he was aiming at is like, or well, no, okay, he wasn't literally, but his targets were three specific people we found out at the end. Three. And so usually when it's something, a weapon like that, you want to be up close, right in their face and stuff like that. And I just remember when it happened, it's like we locked our doors, turned the lights off, and covered our windows and everything like that. I was teaching first grade, and so with my first graders, we're in a corner. I text my mom and dad real fast, and then some of my students who they either remembered their mommy or daddy's numbers by heart, or they had the Oh yeah, with the little kids, it's like try to keep a laminated index card with your phone number, like the house number, mom, dad's number. If you have a teenage sibling, that is like as a backup. So like if they ride or if they need to walk, or I don't like, just sometimes the teenage sibling is a blessing sometimes. But it's like, but yeah, if you don't trust that teenage, yeah, it's not a, you're the parent, you know what's best. Yeah. um but I remember my, like, we were in that corner for like hour and a half, 2 hours. My students were all cuddled up and they were nervous. And so I decided, like, okay, I'm gonna calm them. Like we did breathing exercises with them. Not we, or I did, but we all, like a lot of the students, they chipped in. And then let's see, we did an alphabet game, where it's like each student like would like whisper and not talk, but and like the subject might be, what would you find at the library, starting with A, and we'd go through, and sometimes we'll make things up or whatever, but anything to get their minds off of it. And then I told I whispered a couple stories and stuff. So, but yeah, we were locked up in that school, and it's like I try to do anything and everything to get their minds off of what was going on in the hall. So, but yeah, we were in that corner for about an hour and a half. And so no one passed away. So that's one reason why I know I can't really say as much than some of the people who have actually witnessed these horrible things. But I do, at least I understand from a teacher's perspective, trying to calm the students, trying to reassure them, like kind of being mama bear, and just trying your best to make sure that they were not scared, they were not going to worry, stuff like, because to me, I'm like, yeah, no, leave all the worry to me. But sometimes I wonder what makes somebody think to do things like this. But then we also have more and more even spousal trauma. Yeah, I'm gonna call it trauma from now on. Like with the school, I'll call it school trauma and stuff. But like boyfriend girlfriend trauma. Like, do you know how many stories I've seen or online of true stories of men traumatizing their girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, wives, ex like or somebody who denied them or told them they weren't interested. Next thing you know, they traumatized them. And it's like, what? And now in schools, sometimes it's because students didn't feel like they were popular, they didn't fit in, or sometimes because they were denied or rejected, and or sometimes they feel so excluded. Trust me, that was me. I was not. People like I got teased and laughed at every day. So half the boys said I was so ugly. I mean, so try like or ugly, pathetic, white girl wannabe. I was too proper. I was a Mariah Carey wannabe and blah blah blah. But then I was like, Mariah Carey's beautiful, so I'm confused. But it's just sometimes I wonder, do we need is if part of the problem's mental health? Because yeah, trust me, as you guys, if you guys have listened to my videos, you will know my mental health. I grew up in a very toxic, confusing, terrorizing childhood. But the funny thing is, it was, it was great, but it was terrorizing at the same time. If that makes sense, but if it doesn't, I don't know how to explain it. And so sometimes I just wonder, like maybe if like millennials now is like some of the rejected from the millennial era, since we can connect, maybe there needs to be a mentorship, like big sister, little sister, big brother, little brother type of thing, where like other people who used to not be the cool, like we were the uncool kids, it's like maybe meeting up with the present uncool kids and letting them know it's like just graduate, just make it through. Things change like dramatically. High school is for 4 years. Trust me, I felt imprisoned. I felt trapped in high school. But after that, I have changed so much, and so you will you. And I mean, I doubt any high schoolers are listening to this, but if you are the nerd or the person that's always teased or rejected from anybody, just know it's only 4 years. And I know that's a lot, like, since that's almost like one fourth or one third, like, yeah, one fourth of your life so far, it goes by so quickly. After you graduate, you'll either be going to college or starting a job. And guess what? There's new people. New people. And then after, you can start your own business. You can do amazing things. And you can forget, like, you going to the high school reunion is not a requirement. But sometimes it's amazing because sometimes the cool kids were the cool kids for the wrong reasons. And so sometimes you'll find them on the news later in life, and they might be going to prison for robbery and stuff. This happened at my school. So yeah, a few of the kids that I went to school with, and I went to a majority white school too, so it's entertaining. It's like, yeah, so just yes, right now, these 4 years in high school is not going to be, it may not be that great, but maybe try after school activities, or maybe even the, oh no, now I forgot what you call it, the HR club or H3, something like that, but as like nature or like that would have been one of my dream. But yeah, we didn't have, I think we have it in this area, but my mom like would have never let me be in it. But anyway, most counties, most states have it. So it's like there's even knit, like in some cities and stuff, they have knitting clubs, book clubs, bowling. I mean, try to find something that makes you passionate. It's like, so then like you have your homework, but then find something that brings you joy. Because yes, when that first bell rings and you're in class, it may not be great. It may not be fun, but you don't want to be the reason why we have news stories like this today. We need this to end. And if it's in mental health, yeah, let's get some counselors, let's get some more activities. Let's make our children know how wonderful they are and how they don't need to bring this to anybody. And until we can make that happen, code words with your kids, and or just, I mean, like metal detectors, or I mean, like I said, it's like I'm literally, I just found out about the story like 10 to 20 minutes ago, so I didn't have enough time to do a list of ideas. I probably will do a part two and try to create like, okay, what are my thoughts and ideas with this? Because I know at the schools I worked at, if even if it was a parent visiting, you had to fill in a sign-in sheet. You had to do like, you had to come in and like you had to have a badge and stuff like that. So part of me is, I think it's maybe it was a or it was student or teacher, because yeah, I still don't know that much. It's like, yeah, they just reported it. They said the kids are in the gymnasium, parents are parking in the middle of streets and roads, and I can't blame them. And so I'm like, okay, cops, don't give them any tickets. These are their babies. So if any of the cops kids were like in like at the school, you understand. So don't give any of them tickets. These are their babies. This is their life. So their babies' lives. So, and I'm since I'm tired of saying the whole, I'll keep like my prayers and thoughts, like I want to be more of the action. I gave a couple of ideas, but and I wrote the president once this year, so I'll probably do it again. But yeah, let's take action. Let's do something. Let's come together and actually care about our future. These kids are our future. These teachers spend time to make sure our kids are the best of the our next generation. We shouldn't be digging graves for any of them. But now we have to for at least four more. That's sad. That's really, really sad. Thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human. You're human too. And these kids are human too. Thank you.